Welcome back to our thoughtful, reflective corner on the airwaves, where we explore ideas that shape our understanding on growth and well-being. Today, we're diving into a topic that forms the backbone of nurturing confident and resilient children: the balanced approach to affirmations.
Absolutely. When we talk about affirmations, it's essential to recognize that they are more than just feel-good statements. They are powerful tools that, when used properly, help build emotional security and reinforce confidence. But, and there's an important but, they shouldn't replace honest, constructive feedback. Instead, they work in tandem with guidance that points out areas for improvement.
That's right. An affirmation, in simple terms, is a positive declaration that can help someone, especially a child, build a sense of self-worth. But we want to steer clear of what happens when affirmations become an echo chamber that doesn't allow space for learning and growth.
Exactly. Picture this. Imagine a young soccer player. If you only tell them you're the best soccer player in the world, without giving any tips on how to master a tricky pass or maintain stamina, they may feel good in the moment, but they won't know how to improve or overcome challenges. That's why balancing affirmations with accountability is so important.
And that balance is the heart of what we're discussing today. We want encouragement in a way that makes children feel valued, yet also challenged to perform at their best. Let's talk a bit about how to incorporate constructive guidance alongside affirmations.
A great starting point is looking at the way we frame our praise. Instead of focusing solely on innate ability, which can sometimes feel like a fixed trait, we can emphasize the effort put into the task. For example, rather than saying, "You're so smart," we might say, "You worked really hard on that, and I'm proud of your effort." This subtle redirection highlights that success is a product of hard work and persistence, not just an inherited talent.
That's such a critical point. When we praise effort instead of just natural ability, we're setting up the child to understand that hard work makes a difference. It's a lesson in resilience, a lesson they can take with them for the rest of their lives.
Right. And another important technique is to use what we call growth affirmations. A growth affirmation doesn't just celebrate what's already been achieved, it gently encourages improvement next time. For instance, instead of saying, "You're the best at math," a growth affirmation might be, "You've done great, and I know you can do even better next time." Such phrasing keeps the door open for further learning.
It's almost like gardening. You water a plant, but you also tend to it, removing weeds, ensuring sunlight, and nurturing the soil. Just as a gardener offers care and structure, parents and educators provide both warmth and expectations.
That's a lovely analogy. When we set high expectations while outlining a clear path for improvement, we're not just saying, "Good effort," but letting children know that every mistake is a stepping stone for better growth. If a child falls short of expectations, we need to offer feedback that is both supportive and challenging.
Definitely. Let's look at an example. Imagine a child who has recently been learning to ride a bike. You could say, "It's okay, you're amazing no matter what," which might sound comforting, but it doesn't quite help them learn balance or how to steer better. A more constructive comment might be, "You've made progress, but I know you're capable of much more. Let's work together on balancing better next time." This approach reinforces the message that improvement is the goal and that each effort counts.
Yes, because at its core, the balanced approach is about merging comfort with accountability. When we only give praises that shield children from reality, like overpraising, or when we dip too heavily into criticism, the result can be just as damaging. Overpraising may lead to complacency, while excessive criticism can undermine self-worth.
There's a fine line, isn't there? It's the difference between reinforcing a child's belief in their own abilities and inadvertently setting them up for discouragement when they face failure. So, the balanced method is fundamentally about encouraging self-reflection.
And that self-reflection is a skill in itself. Instead of simply telling a child what they did wrong, asking open-ended questions like, "What do you think went well, and where do you think you could improve?" helps them develop critical self-assessment. This approach naturally leads to a higher degree of self-awareness.
We all know that learning self-awareness is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence. And in our fast-paced world, teaching children how to be aware of their own learning process can empower them to face challenges with a proactive mindset.
Absolutely. To further illustrate, consider the broader picture of a child's development. Affirmations should be a tool for growth, not just comfort. They equip children to face the inevitable challenges of life, academic, social, and otherwise, with resilience. It's a proactive stance that teaches them how to navigate setbacks in a healthy and productive manner.
It's worth noting that this isn't only about academic or extracurricular success. It's also about molding a mindset that welcomes constructive criticism as a form of guidance rather than a roadblock. After all, every mistake offers an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve.
Exactly. And let's remember that affirmations are just one piece of the puzzle. They are most effective when paired with realistic feedback and clear, actionable guidance. This blend raises children who are not only confident, but also capable and continuously striving for growth.
Let's take a deeper dive into some practical examples. Imagine a classroom scenario. A teacher notices that a student has made significant improvements in their project, yet there are still areas that need work. Instead of offering vague praise like "good job overall," the teacher might say, "I love the creativity you brought to your project, and next time, let's work on organizing your ideas even more clearly." This simple shift in language makes all the difference.
That example highlights the importance of actionable feedback. It shows the child that every success is just a step on the continuum of improvement, and that there's always room to grow. This method always fosters an environment where mistakes are seen as learning opportunities rather than failures.
Another interesting perspective is how this approach can impact motivation. When children hear affirmations that are linked with guidance, they are motivated to set personal goals. They begin to see that the journey to success is paved with both accomplishments and opportunities for learning.
That's a very important point. Motivation rooted in the understanding of effort and improvement often leads to a lifelong pursuit of growth. When children internalize that setbacks are part of the process and that their achievements come from deliberate practice, they're more likely to tackle challenges head-on.
And let's not forget accountability. An essential aspect of this balanced approach is teaching children that accountability for their actions and outcomes is key to future success. It's not about pointing fingers, but about understanding where effort can be improved.
Right. Accountability helps cultivate self-discipline. When a teacher or parent asks a child, "What do you think you could have done differently?" it encourages them to think critically about their actions, rather than simply accepting praise at face value. This kind of self-evaluation is crucial for personal development.
I remember a case from a school project where this approach really made a difference. A teacher once asked her students, "How did you feel about your progress? And what would you change next time?" The room lit up with dialogue because the students realized that their opinions mattered and that they were active participants in their own growth journey.
That's a powerful illustration. It underscores the idea that children are not just passive recipients of praise or criticism. They are active agents in their development. When they are engaged in self-reflection, the lessons they learn become inherently theirs.
Let's also touch on the topic of setting expectations. High expectations paired with clear guidance can propel children to stretch beyond their comfort zones. Of course, this must always be done with care, ensuring that the child feels supported rather than overwhelmed.
Indeed, setting high expectations is a delicate balancing act. The key is to communicate that while excellence is desired, the process of striving for it is just as important. A statement like, "You've made great progress, but I know you can push even further. Let's figure out what your next step is," shows both belief in the child's capability and provides a roadmap for development.
I love that. It really reminds me of a coach preparing an athlete for the next season. The coach not only celebrates the wins, but also frames the upcoming challenges as opportunities for better performance, not as shortcomings. This optimistic framing encourages perseverance.
Speaking of perseverance, this balanced approach also helps mitigate the fear of failure. When children are encouraged to see mistakes as part of the learning curve, they tend to take risks and explore new ideas without the weight of fearing judgment.
Very true. In many ways, creating a positive but realistic feedback loop can transform a child's entire outlook on challenges. It establishes that, while it's okay to stumble, there's always a way to get back up, learn from the experience, and improve for next time.
And that transformation is exactly what we want in education and parenting. Not a bubble wrap that protects from reality, but a supportive environment that fortifies resilience. When affirmation is paired with accountability, children learn that growth is not just possible, but expected. End.
Let's not shy away from the reality that these conversations can sometimes be tough. For parents and educators, it isn't always easy to switch from an instinctive reaction of overpraising to providing wrapped in love feedback that includes constructive criticism. It takes practice, patience, and a clear understanding of the goal.
Absolutely. It requires reflective practice. One might say that it's a journey on its own, a continuous process of learning how to communicate with transparency and empathy. It's about finding that sweet spot where a child is both comforted and challenged.
Another dimension to this conversation is the impact on self-reflection. When children are asked for their input on what went well and what could be improved, they start building an internal dialogue that empowers them. This isn't just about classroom performance. It's about life skills.
Right. These self-reflection prompts can be as simple as, what part of your work are you proud of, and what part do you feel could be done differently next time? This kind of dialogue helps children understand that learning is an iterative process, a loop where feedback informs new strategies and further improvement.
And if we zoom out to consider the long-term effects, this balanced approach helps children internalize the idea that their worth isn't solely determined by success or failure. It teaches them that self-worth is built incrementally through persistent effort and the willingness to learn.
It's the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. When a child believes that their abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, they are more likely to persevere in the face of setbacks. Affirmations, when used correctly, reinforce that growth mindset rather than cementing a fixed idea of who they are.
A great way to sum up what we're talking about is to see affirmations as tools for both comfort and challenge. They are not meant to shield children from reality, but rather to equip them to face that reality with vigor and resilience. Every bit of praise or constructive criticism shapes their understanding of effort, accountability, and progress.
And as we wrap up, it's critical for everyone, parents, teachers, and mentors, to understand that affirmations are a nuanced tool. They have the potential to elevate a child's performance and self-esteem when balanced with honest, thoughtful feedback that fosters improvement.
To our listeners, here's a little takeaway. The next time you offer feedback, try blending your affirmations with a suggestion for growth. Maybe instead of just saying, "Great job," you might add, "I loved your approach, and I can see you making it even better by trying this next time." It's a small shift that can yield profound results over time.
Precisely. It's about establishing that every step, every effort is part of a larger learning journey, whether that's in school, sports, or any other area of life. Helping children to see themselves as works in progress, continually growing, is one of the finest gifts we can give.
Before we sign off today, let's share a final thought. Think of affirmations as the supportive framework of a bridge. They give strength and structure, allowing children to cross the chasm of challenges. But the pillars of accountability and constructive feedback are what keep that bridge stable and capable of bearing weight.
That's a beautiful image. A bridge built on both encouragement and the promise of improvement ensures that children not only trust their ability to succeed, but also believe in the power of learning from every stumble along the way.
It's these everyday conversations, whether in the classroom, at home, or in any mentoring situation, that shape the foundation of a resilient, confident individual. Our hope is that this conversation inspires you to strike that delicate balance in your own lives.
As we conclude, let's remember that balance is key. When praise is aligned with responsibility and affirmations are woven with actionable suggestions, we not only build confidence, but also instill a deep-seated drive for self-improvement. That's how we raise individuals who are both secure in themselves and motivated to pursue continuous growth.
Thank you for joining us in this discussion. We hope you leave with a renewed appreciation for the power of balanced affirmations and the transformative potential of combining encouragement with constructive feedback.
Before we say goodbye, let's leave our listeners with one final question to ponder. How can you integrate a small moment of reflection when offering praise in your own life, be it with your children, your students, or even yourself? Sometimes the smallest tweak in our communication can spark the greatest changes.
Well said. As we wrap up, let's recap our main insights organically. Affirmations are valuable when they're balanced by clear, constructive guidance. They should celebrate genuine effort, prompt self-reflection, and pave the way for ongoing improvement. By intentionally blending praise with accountability, we nurture an environment where children learn to value continuous growth and resilience.
Exactly, and this conversation is a reminder that the true measure of success isn't resting solely on accolades. It's in the continuous journey of self-improvement. Every setback is an opportunity. Every piece of feedback is a stepping stone to greatness.
Thank you for spending your time with us today on this deep dive into the balanced approach to affirmations. It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you and sharing insights that can help shape our outlook on feedback and growth.
We appreciate our listeners for tuning in. Remember, the goal is not to create a bubble of praise or a pit of criticism, but a dynamic space where achievements are celebrated and learning is encouraged every single day.
That's all for today's conversation. May you take these reflections into your interactions, nurturing both your own growth and that of the children in your life. And as always, keep striving for balance in every step of your journey.
Until next time, thank you for listening. And remember, the journey of growth is continuous, and every day is an opportunity to build on the foundation of yesterday.
Goodbye and take care.